What's up, family? It is Kaden with Urban Finance. Today we're going to be talking about how you can get your student loans forgiven, or specifically 3 ways in which you can do that. I hear a lot of stories about people who thought their loan should be forgiven, but it actually wasn't, and they were missing something in the guidelines. And I also know that there are a lot of people that actually qualify for student loan forgiveness but have not applied for it, or just don't know that there are actually programs out there that allow your loan to be forgiven. In some careers, it's very prevalent where, everyone in that career knows that student loans can be forgiven, for example, teachers, but there are a lot of careers that don't actually know that, like, for example, pastors and in the churches. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about how your student loans can be forgiven and some of the career choices you can make in order to have your student loans forgiven. So the first way your student loans can be forgiven is through Public Service Loan Forgiveness. And this was actually the College Course Reduction and Access Act of 2007, which was created to lessen the burden of people that were going into fields that will generally help the public. So for example, teachers, nurses, and we'll be talking about some of the other professions as we jump into the video. The forgiveness option is available for direct federal student loans, direct plus loans, and direct consolidation loans. And to receive forgiveness in this program, you need to be working full-time in that capacity, so that is at least 30 hours. And you need to make at least 10 years of payments, or a total of 120 payments. And it says preferably this payment should be made on time, because you can get into a legal battle if those payments aren't made on time, because you still may qualify, but depending on who's in charge at the time of the government, they may make it hard for you to get forgiveness. For example, Betsy DeVos was actually sued by the teachers union because she was making it hard for certain teachers to actually get forgiveness under this program. And those teachers actually won the suit, and actually it was teachers and workers in nonprofit. And I think it was 170,000 people that were waiting for their loan to be forgiven that were actually denied, but then brought a suit against it and are now in the process to getting their loans forgiven. And so it's really important to know the rules and regulations, because even if you qualify, depending on who's running the government at the time, they may make it hard for you to actually get the loan forgiven. Alright, so make sure you're doing your research on this as well. For this particular type of forgiveness, public service jobs are the ones that qualify. So this is any job in a government organization, so that's federal, state, and tribal level. That's nonprofit organizations that are designated tax exempt under Section 501c3. And so, for example, there are pastors that could potentially have their loans forgiven, even people that may work at a church that have a federal loan that may not be a pastor that may qualify for loan forgiveness. And we know they don't make a lot of money, so they probably will still have a loan after 10 years, but haven't actually utilized this. So this is really important. Also, there are nonprofit organizations that are not tax exempt that still qualify for student loan forgiveness after those 120 payments. And so you really need to know if your loans are forgivable or not. So the first type of forgiveness was based on your career choice. So maybe in a nonprofit or in a government organization. The second type of loan forgiveness is based on how long you've had the loan for, or how many payments that you've made towards the loan. And for this particular loan forgiveness, you don't actually need to be working in a specific career field, but you do need a specific type of loan repayment with the federal government. So generally, you will make on-time payments for 20 or sometimes 25 years, depending on the repayment program that you're in. And I'll be talking about the different repayment programs, or some of the different repayment programs. And the remaining balance after you make those 20 to 25 years of payments will be forgiven. And I know some people are saying, wow, I have to make 20 to 25 years of payment. Yes, that's actually a lot of years of payment. But unfortunately, I know a lot of people that are baby boomers that still have student debt. And so the fact that you can even get those payments removed or forgiven after that 20 or 25 years is a pretty big deal and will help a lot of people. And so here are 2 payment plans that allows for this type of forgiveness, but there are other payment plans. The first repayment plan that I'm going to talk about is the pay-as-you-earn repayment plan. And you qualify for loan forgiveness after 20 years of on-time payment. This repayment plan will generally offer you the lowest monthly payment, and to enroll in this repayment plan, you must demonstrate a financial hardship. You may remain in the program, however, even after you've gotten out of the financial hardship. And so the second one, you don't actually need a financial hardship. And the second one is the revised pay-as-you-earn repayment plan. It is similar to the pay-as-you-earn payment plan, but you don't need to demonstrate a financial hardship. And obviously there are other criteria to those repayment plans, but that will make the video so much more longer if I go into every specific detail of what qualifications are in these repayment plans. But certainly research them, look up to see which repayment plan you can do if you desire to have your loan forgiven. Because if you have a $10,000 loan, you may not need that forgiven. But if you have a $50,000 or $100,000 loan, you may want to look in to see if you qualify for loan forgiveness. And the last and final way that you can have your loan forgiven, which is actually considered a discharge, what is slightly different from forgiveness because you actually need a court to rule in your favor. And this is when you demonstrate an undue hardship as a result of having that student loan payment. And I know everyone is probably saying, well, I have an undue hardship as a result of my student loan payment, but it has to be something severe like a disability, something that prevents you from actually working. And then if that type of severe hardship occurs in your life, or something that significantly impacts your ability to earn the type of money you would in your career field. Maybe you went to school to be an artist and something happened to your hands. And yes, you can still work, but you can no longer work in that field where you earned a degree in, then you may qualify for an undue hardship discharge. Now, it is extremely difficult to get a discharge on your student loan, especially since it's something that's not even bankruptable, but it is possible, and I do know people that have had their loans discharged. And so those are the 3 ways that you can have your student loan forgiven. And 2 of those apply to only federal student loans. So if you have a private loan, unfortunately the first 2 does not apply to you. The 3rd one applies to everyone, and hopefully as a result of the COVID-19, we will have a bill passed that allows for people to have some type of student loan forgiveness for both those with private and public loans. But we're still waiting to see. So, you stay tuned, I'll stay tuned. I'm sure if they actually pass a bill, I will be making another video about that. Alright family, thank you for watching. Again, those were the 3 ways that you can have your loan forgiven. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and like I always say, even in the midst of this disaster, remember to live your best life.